Okay, hi dear friends, I hope you are doing great. So just checking that the video is working. It is today Monday, 28th of August, and I am recording today video about the best um, things that I have gone through or discovered or used or did in the month of August. Today, it has been long for me to list all these things because it has been a crazy month, very busy, very exciting. I have been traveling again this month. It's a big traveling year for me. It's the chariot year, number 7 in tarot, which is great because it makes things move from stagnation. We are moving towards the change. And this is what I'm really feeling in my work, in my life. So today, I want to share with you the main things that I discovered or seen or things like that. But I want also to share with you my celebrations because I noticed that in my work, I always put a list for things that I did not do or I want to do in the next months or weeks. But with these videos, and I'm really grateful that you are watching it with me, attending and assisting me in doing it, because it helps me to make the list of things that I have done and I have accomplished. And this is very fulfilling for me because it changes my vision from what is missing towards what is full. So yeah, I really want to thank you for assisting and attending this. All right, so let's start. I have received many visits in Portugal. It's a touristic country, so the summer usually it's a very, it's a very busy month where friends, family, and so on are passing by. But also, as I was traveling, I was in contact with many people from different origins and different traditions, and that allowed me to reconnect with some of the cultures where I was born or authors that I read when I was a kid. One of the trips I had was to Spain, where I visited the Temple of Debod. It's the Egyptian temple that was moved from Luxor in Egypt to Madrid. It's quite phenomenal to see a temple being transported. And it's very close to my heart because it's linked to Isis and to Philae. And I have had very interesting spiritual experiences inside the temple. And yeah, it's as if you feel you are transported again to Egypt when you are inside the temple. It's quite small, but you still can see the altar place, the inscriptions and illustrations of Isis and Sekhmet and other deities on the walls. You can also see the columns standing out of the temple, and when the sun crosses it, the sunset or sunrise, I visited it twice, so in sunset and sunrise, and you see the sun going through. It's very it's really amazing because it's the middle of Madrid, the city, and surrounded by trees, but also surrounded by buildings. And you feel like you are in a bubble and you are watching it from above. It's a very strange feeling. There were quite many people interested in the temple, and there was a line to wait and enter inside. We had very limited time, but I took my time inside. I was the first one in the morning. I was really the first one. I wanted to be the first one to enter to the temple and to honor the deities and the energies inside. But yeah, it was there was a big lines waiting for to enter, and yeah, it's interesting to see that it's becoming a very touristic attraction in Madrid. It might have be, but when I ask people, some don't know even that there is this temple there. Another place that I reconnected to, I've been to Spain and I worked there for, I think, 13 years ago or so in my previous life. And I've been back to Cordoba, which is in Andalusia in South Spain. Andalusia is a beautiful small town, rich with its history. And of course, there is the Mesquita, the Catholic monument. And it was a mosque before, but and I really suspect it was a temple even before, because it's a sacred place and again connected with its energy. And the magnificent thing this time, it's like, when you revisit the same place again, you discover maybe new things that you've never seen before. And this time I reconnected with the flower of life. Of course, I've seen the flower of life earlier this year in the Osarian temple in Egypt. And I have read about it when I was in Turkey. There is the flower of life also in the villa, a Roman villa I have visited, but I couldn't see it. I think it was maybe under work or something like that. But I was there. And then this third time I was in Cordoba, where I have seen again the flower of life. It was the first time I knew that the flower of life is somewhere around in Spain, but I forgot completely that it is in the Mesquita. And seeing it and connecting with it and having the chance to go also for meditation there, consecutive days, it was very fulfilling for my heart. It was an experience, not only because you see yourself evolving, you start opening to new fields and you evolve, but also connecting with these spiritual places and the artifacts there in a personal way makes you have a very personal connection too. It's not about the history of the place or the history or the text that is, or the books that you read about it. It's really, you are facing it. You're facing this flower fly, they say, like 500 after our times. It was made, which I really doubt. I really doubt about the dates regarding the artifacts and the places. But yeah, connecting with those people who have crossed that path with the intention itself, or of this flower of life, it was very, very important for me. And I feel it's going to be changing my way of working at the Temple of Roses. And I'm going to teach about it in the next months. I'm starting the second year, teaching the second year at the Temple of Roses with a new program. So I'm still in, people are enrolled for the first year at the temple. And then there is the second year for those who just finished. And we're going deeper and deeper into the studies, and we are going through the sacred geometry, we are going through the goddess and priestess studies even further. So it feels really opening new fields for me. And talking about trips, I have been organizing for the last months, I think since February or March. I think since April. Don't forget, I'm not remembering very well, but since April, I've been organizing with another teacher here in Portugal a tour. We want to welcome people, spiritual tour to welcome people and visit the sacred places here in Portugal related to the Celtic goddess, the double goddess. And we've been preparing the book that is being translated and corrected in English and French. I'm gonna publish it very soon, I hope. But yeah, it has been very interesting also to prepare the tour. I've always been traveling by myself. Sometimes, I bring people, closed ones, or students who come to visit here. I can show them some places and things like that. But organizing a tour for group, and preparing everything for them, how to be comfortable, the hotels, the visits, the transportation and things like that, and thinking about all the details, it has been quite challenging. But at the same time, it's kind of, it was difficult at the beginning, but the more I did it, the more I was finding my path through it. And I'm very happy to finally ending all the details and finishing the last points, and to announce it very soon. Actually, you can check the tour. I'm gonna leave the link below if that interests you. But yeah, it's kind of, I'm not doing only those journeys for myself and by myself. I'm bringing people also to experience this with me and live it live. So it's different, from speaking with you about my trips, versus taking you and also you living your experience and sharing about it and having downloads um, and finding answers for your life and changing your life. Because you want it or not, when you travel to sacred places, your life changes. You open yourself to new realities, you change your frequency, and that has a big impact on your work, on everything. So yeah, so that's one of the things I'm really happy about this month, that I completed this project of organizing a tour and opening it for, it's going to be for May 2024, and it's going to be also lived with the conference, the Goddess conference here in Portugal, which is had every 2 years. So I'm very kind of excited about it and stressed a little bit about it. But yeah, it's going to be a huge experience for me, and I hope for those who will be here. So, all right, talking about the the trips and so on, there are some also movies that enter into that category, where traveling in time was involved. Talking about Indiana Jones, the last one. I mean, Indiana Jones is one of my inspirations. It's not one of my favorite movies, of course, but it's one of my inspirations since my childhood. And actually, I wanted to study archaeology before going to study medicine, and then changing it. But really seeing Indiana Jones in the movie theater was something, seeing him old and cracked, and and the times has changed. But at the same time, some concepts where we see traveling through time getting involved, and some philosophers, Greek Roman philosophers also being exposed. And the concept itself of traveling through time is very interesting. I found it very kind of close to what I receive as an information about it. So there is another movie also I watched about Oppenheimer, the nuclear bomb, traveling again in time and going back to that space where creation was made, but it was deterred or turned towards defense or attack. I didn't like that movie, to be honest, Oppenheimer. I didn't like it because it was not accurate regarding the history. I mean, you can make some research and find that there are some things that changed in the movie, like, for example, the role of Einstein and so on. But it was long. I didn't learn anything. The acting was average. I found it average in the sense of the complexity, the human complexity of choosing right from wrong, and choosing to attack in order to protect, or choosing to kill. I found it messed up the history, and it missed a lot of parts, big parts of this. But yeah, some people liked it. I didn't. It's not my favorite movie, and for sure it's not a movie that I will suggest, or I would rewatch again, that's for sure. But yeah, it's I don't understand sometimes how the quality of the movies is really, especially the movies on the big theater, is kind of revolving. It's not evolving, which pushed me to connect to other countries and watch other type of movies and series, let's say from Korea or Egypt or Lebanon, where you really see the good acting, the emotional aspect, the story aspect, the value aspect. Because I believe movies and series are here to educate people and to remind us of what is important, and to trigger some questions about the world, about our life, and that critical thinking is kind of absent. um, yeah, there is a lot of shortcuts in the movies, a lot of shortcuts in the thinking, and some aspects taken for granted. So yes, I'm finding it very, very discouraging to watch the American European movies and series, which it's not something I do often. It's just that when you are with people visiting and so on, you know, it's one of the activities, social activities, I would say. But I really suggest you you explore other countries. I wonder if you do, but other countries' creations, like Northern Europe, is a bit different. Yet there are very rare movies, like for example, Dark Waters is a very nice movie about, you know, the water and the corruption and so on. It's very and it's very present as our in our daily life. We see the impact of the companies on water and the drinking water that we have, and that continues. So that is triggering. That makes you think and makes you change your habits in life. But yeah, so let me know which movies you like, which series you like, and which ones you feel they have this educative role. Because one of my ways of teaching is to suggest movies also in my classes and to clients, because they help them to understand some points. So I will really be curious about what you watch and what you like. Another thing that I got this month. So I have been reading a lot, but not books mostly. I've been really reading a lot about philosophy, philosophers, sacred geometry, quantum physics this month, which made me a little bit, because I was traveling, so I couldn't carry a lot of books and I had people visiting. So I was really reading most of the time on my tablet or on my phone, but I received 2 books that I want to share with you, and I might read them in the next months. So the first one is The Map of Consciousness. I'm sure you know this work. You know, The Map of Consciousness is by David Hawkins, and it has been here for many years. I don't know if it's 20 or more, but we use it to determine the level of our consciousness regarding the emotions that we feel, and it helps us to make a choice, a conscious choice about where we are. It talks also about the evolution of consciousness and the fall of consciousness, another concept that was cited in another book. I think it's the alchemical change. Alchemical is the name. All right. I will bring that book another time, but the fall of consciousness and the rise of consciousness is a very interesting concept. So I'm very impatient to read it. I feel it's going to be a quick read because I'm already familiar with the concepts, but having the book and feeling it and feeling its vibration, and I'm sure he has other books that are vibrationally higher, like The One and so on, The Eye or something like that. But yeah, I would start with this one. Another book that I received is The Way of the Rose. So, and this one has been referred to me because, you know, I teach at the Temple of Roses. So anything has a title of rose in it, I might explore it. But it talks a lot about, you know, the lineage of the rose, among other things. And I always say that the lineage of the rose is not really what we teach in the Temple of Roses. It's different, and I always want to do a video about it, and then it goes on the list of things to do, but I really feel it's important to explore that. But maybe after I read the book, I will kind of do a response to it in the future. Let me know if you read it and how you found it, but I had very nice views about it, so we will see. Now talking about the before I talk about decks, because I used some decks during this month, but one of the things we organized is a Zoom meetup with my group, creative creative study of tarot, or I forgot the title, but I changed it from study your tarot deck in 21 days, because I felt that we are more into a creative exploration of the tarot instead of just monthly and exploring deck by deck. So we did a Zoom meeting, and it was very, very interesting to meet with people, real people. Like, imagine I talk to you here on YouTube, and then we come to Zoom and we meet for the first time or the second time. And it felt very, very warming, and very encouraging to practice together with our tarot decks and oracle decks, and explore some questions that are different. And we are going to do it again. So this Friday, this week, we are going to have another Zoom meeting. So if you want to come, you are very welcome to join us. I will leave the link below. And yeah, it would be very nice to have more people, and yeah, creatively exploring this practice. So among the decks that I have been using since that meeting was the Earthbound Oracle. I really, so how I come to get this deck out. So I made a list. I explored all my decks, and I made a list of those that I want to let go, that I felt I won't use anymore, or that I'm not connected to anymore. And this one was on the list. And then I really took time to connect with it again. And I found like, oh my, no, this really deck belongs to my collection and I want to keep it. So since that time, it has been on my desk, doing with it daily readings when I am here, or readings for clients. I didn't do a lot of tarot exploration with clients this month. It was mainly health, coaching, healing, yeah, mostly healing sessions and health sessions. So I didn't have the chance to use it a lot in with them, but for me, it's a very to the point deck, and I wonder why I put it aside for so many months or years. And with it, I reconnected with my other love, which is the Spolia Tarot. Again, I got it out because I have another copy that I'm thinking about selling, and to finance another project of traveling that will contribute to my studies. And yeah, this deck is very, very much one of my loved ones still. And it's to the point, it speaks to me. It's my friend, when you have these friends. And it gets me nervous sometimes about what it might show, because it's quite accurate regarding the energy, but also regarding facing yourself. I always talk about this Spolia Tarot with these kind of knives on the back. I did an extensive study about it, like maybe 4 years ago, and I reviewed it. So you might find this on my channel. And it's about truth. This deck is about the reality of things and your truth. So I got it back. I got it back to my desk. Quite extensively using it. Another deck that I have been using with these two as a combo is the Connected and Free. So those oldies but goodies. I'm just getting them out as I am going through my collection. Is so nice to go through the collection again and again and see which ones are still speaking. And every deck gives the specific voice, a specific voice to the reading. So I love this one. I love it. Yeah, so this one adds more colors, to say, to the Spolia. Very lovely. And while the Earthbound it has a different voice, you know, everyone has. Another deck that I have been using occasionally is the Margaret Peterson. I got it out again in that Zoom meeting, and it's a very shamanic deck for me, and very elder energy, counseling, the voice of the ancestors, the voice of the ether, of the energy of the spiritual realm. So yeah, again, getting this deck again out is just, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a very nice decks. I should use them more instead of looking for more. Still, there are some decks that I would love to get into my collection, but if you're interested to know what I'm selling also, because that will, you know, make space also for maybe new decks, but I'm really focusing on the trip that the trips that I have in the next months. But again, there are some decks that I want to take with me, like the one I'm going to show you very soon. So if there are any decks that you want to get, please just connect with me, and I will leave the list below, so that would be easier. We can maybe exchange or something like that if you are in Europe. Anyway, the Margaret Peterson is amazing. It's just amazing. One of the oldies but goodies also, the Weaver. Just Weaver Oracle. Just. So this deck is not about a daily drawing. I told you about it before. This is just like once a week, once a month even, or when you have a very strong reading to do. I did readings about the life mission regarding with this deck, and it's powerful. It's powerful. I don't see myself getting separated from it, because it's as if you have a grandfather or grandmother, mostly grandmothers, and letting them go is just not possible. It's very beautiful, very, you know, it has beauty and wisdom and poetry. It feels complete. You know, there are these that complete whole. One of the decks that I feel like this is the fifth tarot, the fifth spirit tarot. You know, I showed it to you for the last month. I've been using it, this one. This one was the last month, and also it feels complete. So yeah, there's this notion of completeness that I'm just connecting to. Okay, and one last deck. Oh no, two. I've been using two more decks. Let me show you those. This one, where did I put the box? Is the, oops. This one is the Birds Oracle deck. I had it in my shop a few years ago, and I really loved it. And it's about birds. I love it. I really love it. It has this simple illustrations, yet beautiful, and the guidebook is very nice too. It's one of my favorite Birds Oracle deck. And putting it on a reading to complete it, or to give the direction or the insight, is very interesting. So yeah, this one is one of the decks that I have been using, and I'm still continuing. I'm putting them all here. All right. The other deck that I received in August, it was quite really good surprise, is the Shadow, the Moon Shadow. How did she? Just give me a second. The Moonchild Tarot, of course, the Moonchild Tarot, but the Shadow edition. I finally received it, and I was not really expecting it. I thought it was, you know, due maybe in September. It has been a little bit late, but I brought it with me in my trips, and I've been surprised about, you know, its quality and its cards. I even watched some videos comparing the old one with this one. And, you know, the old one, meaning the light edition, which is just here. It's one of my most used decks also. And you can see the back of the cards is different. Some of the illustrations are different. And I must admit, my favorite one is the light edition still. The shadowy edition is very nice, very beautiful, but it's not sparkling in my heart. It's not awakening things. And there are some deities that have been removed from the deck, you know, thinking about thought and so on. And I'm like, why did you remove it? I got the deck for that. But there are new cards that are also nice, like this one, the Five of Pentacles. I don't think I will do comparison. There are so many videos, like, you know, comparing both editions, but I want to share with you my experience with it. And it was quite nice. It didn't read for shadowy. I was using it for daily dose. I was using it also for ritual readings, and it feels connected. It feels a connected deck, responding and answering to the intention that you put into it. It also has the different elements. If you work in spiritual field with the water, the fire, and so on, you can feel them. You can use them on your readings. I didn't like the Emperor. It felt the Emperor has not the eyes closed. It doesn't have to have the eyes closed because he has to watch over his kingdom. This card seems more for me like the Hermit, but when you read the description, you might get, again, with a, you know, you might get used to it, but still, there are some cards that I don't like. The Judgment, the Moon is nice still. There are some cards that are the same. It's just the colors that is different. The colors are different a bit. Five of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, one of my favorite cards. Some cards same. So Nine of Cups different. So yeah, so it's a point of view, right? When you have something or deck that you connect very much to, that you love, like this one, the Moonchild is one of my favorites. And then there's this new one that's changed what you like, yet, all right, there are some good things. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be using it more. It's gonna be like, this one's gonna be my daily one that I can use. I don't care if it's trimmed, not trimmed, if it's damaged or whatever. And this one is gonna be my sacred one that I use only at home. I cannot carry with me out because I'm like, this is my treasure. Yet I traveled with it to Egypt. I couldn't travel to Egypt without that one, but I'm gonna kind of like nurture it and take care of it. And just making fun of my practice. This one is quite interesting. So this is the Arc, and having it in Seven of Wands, I don't know how I feel about it, because this is the box of power, changing the reality. We even talk about it changing or helping to build big monuments and changing the flows of water and so on. And it has a quite big religious also aspect into it regarding the Jewish tradition and so on. So I don't know if I would put it in the Seven of Wands. Here we talk about transcendence and power and so on. So I don't know. There are some things that I don't agree with, but I still would use it. I will still use it. Anyway, yeah, this is one of my newest decks that I've been using. So let me see if there are other things that I want to share with you. So we talked about the tarot meetings, if you want to come, about tarot, the decks that have been used, the movies, and oh yes, I want to tell you two more things before we finish. So one of my oracle decks, which is the Shamanic Healing with Roses and Flowers, has been out of stock for some time, and I decided, instead of printing it, to put it on Printer Studio, and I will be leaving the link below. The reason for that is that I really don't have time to publish it again and to print it again. My next project is about the feminine and masculine. I have a new deck and new book about relationships that I made with my friend Lucy, and it's coming up. They both are going on a Kickstarter project in the next few days or weeks, 1 week or 2 weeks. So I'm really sorry. I don't think I will really publish it again, but it's on Printer Studio, and you can order it, and you have access to the book, access to the meditations, and all the content that I have created for it. You still have access to that. So please, if you want to order it, just click the link below. One of the other decks, actually two decks that have been working quite well this last month also, is the I Don't Care Oracle deck by Steph, and it's still available. I have some still copies if you want to order them, and Become an Oracle also. It has been quite doing quite well, and I'm very, very happy and grateful for your appreciation. And yeah, so if you want to support that. Another news about our work is that the Psychic Self-Defense Kit has changed the title. Now, a self-defense manual or guide, because on Amazon the word kit was not really recognized after a year or so from publishing it. So they asked me to change it, and I changed it. And the good news is that this book now is published now in Portuguese, in French, and Russian. So now it's really available in 4 languages. I'm very happy about it. So if you get the chance also to check it out and to order it. So I think I finished with my news about August. It has been quite a month, right? So I wish you a very, very nice day. And I hope to see you Friday if you can join us. If not, there are other free events that you can attend to the next week. I'm going to leave the link also of the events below. So sending you much love and have a nice day. Bye-bye.